know Minnesota is in the Midwest, and it's probably not the first school on the radar for people on the East Coast. However, we offer lots of good things. First and foremost, I'd like to promote our women's program just alongside of our men's program as well. Coach Michaela Miller has done an outstanding job. They've been conference champions numerous years in a row, and they're currently recruiting through this COVID cycle to get athletes. Both the women's program and the men's team are allowed to practice on campus at our facilities. So if you wanted to come to a school and get to play rugby as soon as you can, Minnesota is a great place to do that. I am the head coach of the men's program. I've been here for 3 years, 2 years as an assistant, and the last year and a half, or excuse me, 3.5 years, 3.5 years, 2 years as an assistant, year and a half as a head coach. We play in the USA Rugby Division I competition. We're currently in the Heart of America Conference with Iowa, Iowa State, Kansas, K-State, and other schools in the Midwest. I know we've heard a lot of people speak tonight, so I decided to take a little bit of a different route, and I'm going to share my screen and play a little video from our fall highlights. We were able to practice 3 days a week, so we put this together for the players as a recruiting tool as well. So I'd just like to share that, and I'll play it for you.
Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. Cause we've done this before, so you come on in. Make yourself at my home, tell me where you've been. Pour yourself something cold, baby, cheers to this. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Morning comes and you know that you wanna stay. Close the blinds, let's pretend that the time has changed. Keep our clothes on the floor, open up champagne. Let's continue tonight, come on, celebrate. That's how we do. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Bring a friend. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my duck off the crib, the spot, the pad. But my house is your house if you throwing it back. Excuse me, it's my home, draining the sand. Soon as these happy faces land, you can run with the cash. Home run, slam dunk, touchdown pass. Mi casa es tu casa, so it ain't no holding back. Another shot of vodka, you know what's in my glass. It's my house, just relax. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Morning comes and you know that you wanna wanna stay. Close the blinds, let's pretend that the time has changed. Keep our clothes on the floor, open up champagne. Let's continue tonight, come on, celebrate. That's how we do. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go out. Welcome to my house, play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go out. Welcome to my house.
So that's a little bit about us in terms of the types of things we do on and off the field as a rugby program. Um, General information for us, we are a sports clubs team with a varsity mindset. We train 3 days a week together, Monday and Wednesday mornings in the dome facility that you saw, and then Friday mornings in the gym. The players take it upon themselves to start their own lifting groups, and they lift 2 to 3 days a week on their own or in their groups, while managing an academic schedule to help them get more time in the classroom and time to get the schoolwork done, considering now that we're virtual. We actually practice from 6 to 8 a.m. 3 days a week. At first, it was a decision that we weren't too sure about, but in the long run, it's been great. We've actually attracted more athletes with that time frame, and our program is growing. University of Minnesota is a public school with over 50,000 undergraduate students, which seems like a large entity compared to the other schools that have been on here this evening. However, the University of Minnesota is in the middle of Minneapolis, which is one of the Twin Cities. It is around 21 Fortune 500 companies that are currently looking for interns and research opportunities. The University of Minnesota has over 100 majors. There's a law school, there's a medical school. We have one of the best business schools in the country in the Carlson School of Management. It's also one of the top 10 research institutes in the whole United States. As we are a sports clubs program, we cannot offer a scholarship for any particular rugby athlete. However, the University of Minnesota, because it's a large public university, has hundreds of academic scholarships available that they look at each admitted student for their qualifications towards all of those scholarships. We've had several players who have applied from out of state or locally and ended up getting a full ride or close to a full ride just based off of the major or academic status they had coming into the school. I think, I know it's the end of the night. I would just like to maybe foster some engagement. It's interesting to look at a lot of blank avatars, but I'm just wondering what anybody out there is looking for in a college experience. You know, I've heard a lot about a lot of other colleges, but we haven't heard much from people in the room and as far as what they're looking for. Is there anybody willing to share and say what, you know, what they're looking at or have any questions?
Snacks, it's Dom from Play Rugby USA. How are you?
Good, mate. How are you?
Good, thanks. I'm really intrigued. You've been there sort of like three and a half years. Like, what are some of the success stories of the students that you've had the opportunity to work with? What have they got out of the program? And what are you hearing from sort of like recent alumni?
Yeah, that's a good question, right? First and foremost, the academics have improved considerably since I've been there, right? We currently have a 3.61 team average GPA, 17 kids on the dean's list, and for like 5 or 6 of our guys are 4.0 students. So academically, we're doing really well. We've had guys go into the aerospace industries. We have guys in the medical field as software engineers. We have a lot of computer science majors in our program, which is really interesting in considering rugby is not necessarily a brainiac sport or a academic sport. We have a massive alumni network that supports us. And so they're constantly pulling and plucking, Gopher men and women rugby players for the companies that they have. We have a lot of tech people here in Minnesota, right? A lot of business analysts and stuff that work for Target, 3M. We have chemical engineers. Like my assistant coach is a graduate student getting his doctorate in chemical engineering, and he's employed 2 or 3 of the players just to do the research for him. So in terms of opportunities, there are plenty of them, and we're starting to see those come through the longer I've been at the program. It's a really interesting place to coach, to be honest. So yeah, that's a great question, Tom. I don't know if there's any other questions in the chat. I've left all of our contact info for both the men's and women's team in there. We're easily accessible. If anybody wants to hit us up and chat rugby or chat University of Minnesota or rugby in general, right? I spent time as the U.S. men's national team manager as well as pro rugby, where Dom and I met back in the day. So lots of experience in our program as well. So.
Hey, Coach, I had a question or two before you headed off. Do you have a sevens program as well, or do you just do 15s?
Yeah, so we're just like all the other schools that were on here tonight. We play fall 15s, and then we go into a little bit of 15s in the spring, depending on where we sit in playoffs, or we just schedule some matches to keep our Type 5 players engaged. And then we go into a spring 7 season. Currently, since the last college sevens national championships were in 2019, we're sitting, I believe we were ranked 11th. We beat Indiana. We've beaten Michigan, all those guys in the Big Ten tournament to take second then. And then we took 11th at the USA National Championship 7 series. So we've been using sevens as the outlet to grow in our program and build skill and build interest in the sport.
And now, what do you look for in terms of contribution from someone coming in as a freshman to the program? Does that vary? Are you looking for them to contribute a whole lot on when they get there finally, or like what? What level of do you tend to look for from new students and players coming in?
That's a great question. In terms of a new student coming in, or any brand new player to the Gopher rugby program, first and foremost, we are looking for a player that wants to be a Gopher. We want someone who's going to be committed, come into the program, offer their effort and their energy and their experience, whether it's rugby or other sports. And we're looking for them to contribute on a daily basis. For us, competition is not about stomping the enemy or your opponent. For us, competition is how far am I going to push my teammates in a training session to get better, right? To then go play our opponents later. So freshmen come in and make an immediate impact in the University of Minnesota. Like there is the depth chart is wiped clean every season. And if you're playing well, you will get an opportunity to play. The other thing is with many large programs, they talk about having multiple sides. Well, we also have multiple sides, and we're looking to get all of our players game time every week when the season is on, clearly, and gain that valuable experience, because we only get 1 to 4 years with the college athletes, and what we want to do is have them gain an appreciation for the sport of rugby, love what they do, gain appreciation for the school. With that, we have, like we said, an alumni association that does really good work for us, our family association. If the Indiana guys were here, we could tell you about the feeds that we put on after a Minnesota home game. Some teams, that's the favorite thing, is to come and play us and eat the food and the feed that we put on. So yeah, we look for freshmen or first year players to contribute right away, right? To add to the team culture that we have. We have what we call the rugby house, which is our team culture. And as soon as you walk through the door, you're expected to contribute. And, we say, for lack of a better term, help decorate the house with your energy and effort. Leave your mark, leave the jersey better than you found it.